Hello everyone, I'm Brandy.
My name is Charlotte.
And welcome back to Unspoken Transitions, where we talk all about the nuances of adulthood and all of the different transitions and phases that we go through. So for today's topic, we are going to be talking about social media. I know it's huge in our society today, and the overconsumption of it. So I wanted to do something different today. I wanted to start off with some statistics that I found about social media. And the first statistic is that approximately 4.9 billion people in the world are using social media today. The average person spends about 145 minutes a day on social media, and half of millennials trust the product recommendations of all the influencers and things like that you're seeing. And there's also a really large correlation between social media use and depression in adolescence. So out of those staggering statistics, which one kind of sticks out to you?
For me, it's because I feel like social media is like high-key ingrained into society and everything that we do. So the one that sticks out to me is more of the depression one, like in adolescence and stuff like that. It's just sad because everyone consumes it, it's comparing, because I think us growing up, we had like Facebook, Facebook or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, but like people were actually just posting. There wasn't as many filters, fillers, edits and stuff like that. So you literally just posted some cringe selfie or a picture of a flower and then that's it. But now with all the filters, edits, people are getting surgery that you can't even tell. People are making edits on their bodies and everything. So teenagers, even like children, are comparing themselves to grown, developed adults, which makes them depressed or not want to, or don't feel confident in themselves. And there's just a lot more pressure to look one specific way rather than embracing who you are and just understanding you don't need a BBL at 17 because you have not grown into your body yet, for example. So yeah, and I get how that can lead to depression, which is really tough.
Yeah, and there's so much exposure to things that I feel like when we were that age that we weren't exposed to, unless you were watching certain shows or things like that. But for the most part, just everything is laid out there. And for those who may be sensitive or not aware of certain things, it's just all kind of thrown in your face. And I also learned in this like conference that I went to about social media that most youth today and teens today don't know how to separate life between social media. To them, social media is literally real life.
Interesting.
Like they don't see a difference. It's like, no, my life on social media is just as real as my life in real life. I feel like for me, I'm like, okay, social media, but this is the real thing. But for them, their perspective is a lot different and the way they're wired is a lot different. So they really believe that it's all the same. Like everything that happens with my school friends on social media is just as real as what's happening in real life and what they say to my face. And social media maybe even more so. Yeah.
When you say that, do you mean like they think interactions on social media is just as like just as good as real life interactions? Like they think they're both interchangeable? Or like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so like for them, there's like no separation. Like they truly think, okay, like this is very real. Like I don't know, I feel like the best way to describe it is, for me, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation with you on social media. Like I'd rather have it with you in person or on messages. But for them, like that's the way that they communicate best. So for them, it's like it may be easier for me to communicate with you using this. And also I know there's a lot of stuff going on with like the virtual world and reality and things like that, but it's not like a virtual reality for them. It's literally their reality.
That is their reality.
Yeah.
So like they think this is how food looks, this is how these places look. They think that this is how people look, and not understand that like people have folds on them. Not everyone is like perfectly fit in everything according to social media, or like not everyone dresses to the nines all the time. Even your favorite influencer wears sweatpants and everything, or just even the expectations versus like reality. Like you have to understand that even when people are filming at a restaurant or like a store or whatever, I promise you the edits and the filters and stuff to make it look as bright and vibrant and everything,
they're happening.
It's solely on social media. It's not even necessarily focused on like real life, because you got to make it look pleasing. Just like these commercials, you'll get a McDonald's sandwich in person versus the picture you saw, or like the commercials you would see in their day and night. So yeah, I think that really sets them up for failure in terms of expectations, because it's just like life doesn't work this way, and how you understand is like, oh, this is how it works. It's tough.
Yeah, and I think another point too with them not being able to separate is that their social media identity is just as real as their actual reality, if that makes sense.
So like, would you say...
So your profile is just as real as if someone were to see you on the street, kind of a thing.
Oh, like minus the filters and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, it's like the same. They're just as valuable.
Oh,
so
okay.
when you're talking about, I guess, trying to make things look picture perfect, I think that's why. Because they're both so valuable to this upcoming generation, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think it must be... I think that's really hard, because even
absolutely,
like celebrities now, I think the constant comparison to celebrities and how they look and how they can be like them and how they can have their same body and stuff like that is just a recipe for disaster, because everybody has different shapes, everybody looks different. So having a focus on like, oh, I am shaped like a rectangle, but I'm trying to look like somebody who's an hourglass all the time, or I'm trying to like, it's not natural for me to be 100 pounds, but I'm gonna try to be like this K-pop star who's like 100 pounds, so I can look like them. And people are getting eating disorders and developing a lot of deeper issues with self-confidence and everything because these filters. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like some people can't take a picture without a filter. So
yeah.
I fell into that a little bit. I was like doing filters on Instagram, stuff like that, and then like TikTok, and then I reached the point where I was like, no, I can't do this. I look crazy right now. Like, I have to put a filter on. And then after a while, it was like, you know, I am beautiful with or without a filter. So let me just say, like, let me not, let me not do my edits on TikTok. Let me just record regularly, get used to how I look. It sounds so bad, but get used to how I just look in real life again. Yeah. And then just post it and be confident in that, rather than trying to nitpick every little thing that makes me a human being. I'm just like, I'm not gonna look perfect all the time, and that is okay.
Yeah, so I think that's what's scary for me with filters, is when I put one on, I almost don't recognize myself. And for me, I'm like, this looks too unrealistic. Like, I can't do it. I can't. And I've tried to do the filters, but I get so creeped out. So I'm like, I literally don't look like this. My eyes don't look like this. I feel like the face shape, everything. I'm not trying to be a catfish out here. I'm like, I do not look like this. So I try not to use filters, but like in terms of brightening up like the screen and stuff like that, I feel like that's really helpful. But when it's the altering of your face, and there are a lot of filters that do it so subtly that you can't even catch on. It doesn't even look like a filter. It's so wild. Yeah,
there's like a natural one I'm thinking on TikTok. Honestly, I think there are some that are over exaggerated. Like they'll give you
lips.
Yeah, like the lips, it'll give you like a perfect contoured nose, it'll give you even a different change of eye color, it'll give you freckles, makeup, and everything, like makeup, all of that. And I think if you like how you look in a filter, maybe try to like mirror it on your own outside of the filter, and be like, oh, I think this makeup look looks good on me, but not depending on the filter for you to feel like you look good. Because there's like a natural filter, but literally it just clears up your skin. You look like you, but it just clears up your skin. If you have any like acne or anything like that, it just like clears it up. And I'm like, okay, that's a good one. But all in all, I think you shouldn't depend on filters, because like you said, you won't recognize who you are outside of the filter, and then you'll just think you are ugly because you don't have like these specific features and everything. So I guess the way to discern it, if you can't take a picture without a filter or some kind of like extreme edit, then you should reevaluate like how you perceive yourself and how these filters have affected your perception of yourself and your self-confidence, your beauty, and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. And I see how important that is, and at the same time, I'm also wondering, for those who aspire to be influencers, you're competing with people who have hundreds of edits on their pictures. Yes. You know what I mean? They're the ones that are getting the brand deals. They're the ones that are getting X, Y, and Z, and it's really horrible. It feels almost like a competition in terms of whose edits are better, who can make this product look better. So as much as I want to say go the natural route, you're also competing with a lot of people who do have those filters. So it's really hard to justify both. It's definitely really tough to justify both. I think it's more of just making a, like, you can have the filter, but make sure you're like you said, separating from real life and how you look. You should like how you look, and then if you want to make it brighter, or you want to remove a tree or a person in the background, or maybe like even put a filter on so that things can look aesthetically pleasing, you just need to understand that an aesthetic is an aesthetic, and you are you, and not focusing in on that. Because yes, get the brand deals. If you need to slap a filter on it to get a brand deal, then go ahead and slap it on there. I just think that people are doing these hyper edits and then painting it as reality, like, oh, this is just how I look, and then people are like, oh my gosh, like, why don't I just look like this? And you just have, like you said, reality versus what things actually look like is important to discern, because if you don't, you're going to end up in a really tough spot. And just remember, we're in a world of capitalism, so they want you to keep nitpicking yourself. They want you to get the rhinoplasty. They want you to like get these eyelash extensions. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but like they want you to get eyelash extensions. They want you to get like lip fillers. They want you to keep thinking like, oh, like being curvy is in style. Nope, it's not in style anymore. Yep, you need to be like 2000 skinny. Up, nope, that doesn't work anymore. Like, they're going to keep changing it according to what is going to make them money. So just keep in mind that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just society's trying to make money from you. And if everybody is confident and feels comfortable in their skin, nobody's going to make any money, which is why I don't know if you noticed, like in 2019, TikTok and everything was just promoting like, oh, BBL, all your shapes are good. Like, it was even brands like Victoria's Secret, everyone was just saying like body positivity. But if you realize within like late 2022 or like mid 2022 to 2023, now everybody is promoting, like, for example, Kim Kardashian got all of her stuff removed, right? Everybody's going towards being super skinny as the ideal beauty standard, so that they can push you to think there's something wrong with you, whereas before, body positivity was working out. I think they started to lose money in their pockets, and they were like, nope, we need to change it up. Yep.
They might have, for sure.
Yeah, like, it's an issue. Like, before, like, what'd they say, the 2016 contour and stuff like that, you need to look this way or you're not beautiful. And then now it's like, nope, natural beauty and stuff like that. And it's just like, you should just be dressing. Same thing with the skinny jeans and all the other stuff. Not skinny jeans, low-waisted jeans. Like, you should be dressing in a way that matches your body. You should be wearing makeup in a way that matches your features. Your hairstyle should be matching your features and your skin tones and stuff like that. You should be wearing shoes that, like, everything you're doing, despite what the trends are, despite what is going on, should be tailored to you as an individual and how it makes you look. So the trends are gonna, and that's why, like, I was watching a TikTok the other day. It was funny because they were saying like, oh, you think people who are in their 40s are just letting themselves go and stuff like that. It's just like, no, they let go of societal standards and they're just dressing how they want, because yeah, they're dressing how they want to, because the same way that they're canceling skinny jeans right now, by the way, you can't wear skinny jeans, it's canceled, like, it's old, it's millennial old or whatever.
You wearing them still.
Don't worry, you want to know why you should? Because it's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back. And I'm gonna have them stocked up.
No, I'm like, oh my gosh, like vintage or whatever, and it's just like, no. So like,
not vintage,
and it's just like, oh, like my old 2010s jeans, and it's just like, this has been in or whatever. So I think the sooner people learn to dress according to themselves, wear makeup according to themselves, hairstyle according to themselves, they will be happier rather than trying to hop on the next trend. Because I can wear low-waisted jeans, but I promise you, it's gonna be wearing me. I'm not wearing the jeans, they're wearing me. I'm gonna look really crazy. Like, I don't know if you've seen Body Theory, but like, two people can wear the same exact outfit and look completely different. You're like, oh, that looks good on them. I'm like, oh, like,
right.
So less trends, follow your features, and a way to, not for me getting into styling and fashion and stuff like that, but a way to figure that out, because I feel like it's tough to just tell somebody like, oh, like, just figure it out and dress according to your features, is find a celebrity that has similar features to you. So for me specifically, I think of like Selena Gomez, who has a rounder face, right? So rounder cheeks and stuff like that. I don't have her like set eyes, like her smaller eyes, but like, what does she usually wear that complements her? Like, what makeup does she usually have that complements her face? Maybe not eyeshadow, but like that kind of thing. Body shape. Who has a similar body shape to me? Rather than me trying to kill myself to like get to 110 pounds and trying to like look like this. Who has my body shape? What do they wear? Like, what style do they have that I can kind of wear that complements me? Rather than trying to force myself into something that is just genetically not possible, or is possible but it's just unhealthy in general. So yeah.
No, definitely. And speaking on your point about how social media can kind of promote people to change things about themselves, I also think it promotes people to buy a lot of things too that we might unnecessarily need. I think there are so many amazing things that I found through social media, especially TikTok, that I bought. And also it comes to draw a line. Like, you don't always need the most updated, you know, thing. Maybe that cup that you have is just fine. You don't need the Stanley Cup or whatever the case is. So I think that can also be a lot of pressure too, to kind of keep up with the Joneses of, okay, everyone has this thing. Okay, I gotta like get the newest thing, or the newest phone, or the, you know, newest thing. It's always good to treat yourself. And also, where do we draw the line? Yeah. It's really hard.
They got me.
There's so many things I see, I'm like, oh, let me save that.
Yeah, like, let me save that. But I think that's a good method though. Not saying, okay, I'm going to Amazon, I'm gonna buy it. It's like, let me save that and let me come back to it. Like, a fashion tip that I learned is, let it sit in your cart for like 3 days. Come back after 3 days and see if you actually still want it. And then if you still want it, compare to what you have. Do I have space for this, right, in my house? Do I need this? Am I gonna, best question, am I gonna use this in a year? Am I gonna use this in 2 years? Like, is this gonna be relevant? I think that also fits with like fashion too, because I was stuck in this loop. I'm telling you, TikTok had me in a chokehold in 2020. I was like, that shirt looks cute, I'm buying it. These pants look cute, I'm buying it. Like, these jewelry's cute. I was like, and it wasn't like, oh, I want it. It was like, I need it right now because of the way they are. I was like, in order for me to look at it, I need this. Like, and then you reach a point where you just have a bunch of stuff, and I promise you I don't wear it to this day. I probably just like got rid of it. So save it, wait, still want it, see if you have space. If you have space for it, evaluate if you're still going to use it in a year or two. And if it's no to the majority of these, then just leave it. Yeah, just don't get it. Are you going to use it every day? You really want that dress? Where are you wearing it to? Where are you wearing this ball gown to? You can wear it to the coffee shop.
Coming for me.
No, like no, it's true. Like, where are you wearing?
Where am I going?
Where are you going? Like, it was a TikTok sound. It was just like, don't get me wrong, buy the ball gown and wear it, but like, if you know yourself and you're not at the point where you're bold enough to wear it wherever you want, whenever you want to wear it, I advocate wearing a ball gown in the like Stop and Shop if you want to do that. But if you know yourself and you're just like, I'm not comfortable doing that, and I don't think I ever will be comfortable doing that, don't touch the ball gown, okay? If these jeans, you think they look cute, but your wardrobe, you're mostly going into the office every day, and like you go out like twice a month, and you know you're not going to wear these trendy jeans, don't buy it. Why? Because it doesn't fit into your lifestyle. Like, don't do that to yourself. You're just creating clutter, and then guess what? In 2 years, you're gonna have a bunch of stuff that you need to throw out. Now your deep clean is gonna be a really deep clean, and you're not gonna be a happy person. So like, you got to
like a cycle.
Like, it just keeps, and it feeds the capitalism machine. So I think it's important to really assess what you're buying and just stop for a second, because I still do it now. I'll see something cute, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this right now, and then I'm like, wait, do I like this color? Right. How does that fit my wardrobe? How does it fit my lifestyle? How does it fit my body shape? How does it? And then most of the time I'm like, nope, it looks good on her, and I love this for her or him, but it's not gonna work for me, and I'm not gonna wear this for whatever amount of time, or I'm not gonna use the Stanley Cup in a year, or this digestive help I don't even know, powder is not going to work in a year once this influencer starts promoting it. So
it's trends. The trends, they come and they go, and you don't always have to hop on every trend. And I think we've been talking a lot about some of the challenges and negative aspects, but I also think there are a lot of positive aspects too. Like, what do you think have been some of the most positive parts to social media, or things that you love about social media? What's your favorite app right now?
Oh, come on, TikTok. Okay. Definitely TikTok. I think the positive aspects of it is like the sense of community. Like, for example, I was so hesitant on dressing the way I dress now, because I was just like, nobody dresses like this. I was like, nobody dresses feminine like this. I was like, oh, I feel like so childish for liking princess dresses and liking this like soft girl aesthetic and liking these specific things. Like, no one's gonna like this. I don't want to be seen as weird. Not that like I should care, but like I don't want to be seen as weird. But what encouraged me was just seeing a bunch of people my age just like, nope, love dresses, love like these like pretty things, I love whatever. So it creates a sense of validation and community. It should not be that way. You shouldn't have to be validated about other people doing their thing for you to feel like, oh, now I can do it, like permission to do it. But ultimately, if that's how it starts, you get encouraged by it, and then you develop your own self-confidence, stuff like that. It is great. And then it's also great for information. TikTok has taught me a lot about my food, eating, like exercise habits, things I'm consuming, time management, the world. Like, it just is very well informed, and it's from a genuine perspective. So that's why I really appreciate TikTok. In moderation, though, you shouldn't be scrolling for 6 hours. Like, but
you can't easily.
Just gotta close the app and throw the phone. That's what I do. I just close it and then I'm like, all right, let me just get up and go do something. Like, you can't, because the algorithm gets to you. But ultimately, TikTok, for me at least, is a great community, a great encouragement, fashion, like good inspiration and stuff like that, good advice, opens my mind to different things and everything. So that's what I really like about it.
I love that. For me, I really like the creative outlet that it gives me. It gives me like an opportunity to just be creative, because I love creating content. I really do. I think it's so much fun. And everything that you said, community, learning, I feel like I've learned so much. I'm still learning to this day from TikTok. And it's just less pressure. I like being on platforms that are just less pressure. I feel like Instagram feels like a lot of pressure. Facebook, too many people know you on there, it's pressure. And we just don't like that. We want some freedom, some flexibility, and all of that.
No, I agree. I think that, I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but like, they don't push your stuff. If they do push your stuff, it'll be like, oh, this many people seen it, but nobody liked it. You're just like, what's happening right now? And then, I don't know, TikTok is more welcoming to me, in my opinion. Same thing, like you said, Facebook, I might reshare some things, but I'm not like posting a status or anything like that. So TikTok has been a go-to. I ain't got nothing else that I'm really going on, so I don't know, TikTok is ruling it right now. It's just doing what it needs to do.
You know what's so funny? When I was doing my research, Facebook is actually the most used across the world, and then followed by Instagram. I think WhatsApp was up there, and TikTok was in like the top 10, I think, but it wasn't as high as like Facebook and Instagram.
That's weird. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I don't know what's
interesting.
happening.
I just think Facebook got a grasp on them.
Maybe it's because it's widespread age.
I think widespread age, and also across the world. I think Facebook is easier for people to communicate with each other than like TikTok.
That's
why I think. And one thing I want to talk to you about is taking breaks from social media. I think taking breaks is so important. I know some people take breaks when they're fasting. Some people just take breaks to never come back. I've seen that. I've done that sometimes.
I can't.
So do you take breaks from social media? Do you find them helpful?
I think it's important to take a break, because obviously there was life before TikTok. And when I took a break, I was like, what do I do with my time? I was like, if I'm not going on TikTok between work on breaks, I was like, what am I doing with my life? So it's important to take a break. No, I literally was like, I don't know. I was like, what do I do in my free time if I'm not going on TikTok? I'm like, there's nothing to do. But clearly there was plenty to do, because, you know, I would be creating content, or just like going out with my friends, or getting into a show I really enjoy, or like doing something artsy, or my hobbies or whatever. But just going on TikTok is just easy. Go on, scroll, no work, no nothing, no thinking, you just keep going or whatever. And then and it's endless. It's not like back in the day where Instagram has an end and then you're done. There's nothing else you can do. Like, you remember that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it just stops. Same thing with Facebook.
And then you have to refresh.
Every couple hours, because you refresh it after 20 minutes, you don't see anybody new. Yeah, so it's you have
to. So true.
Yeah. You gotta take breaks. Like, you gotta just stop. Like, sometimes
it doesn't stop for you.
It doesn't stop for you. It doesn't. Even Instagram, it doesn't stop anymore. No. So, I think that breaks are important. And when I say that, I mean, if you can't take, like, people might be like, oh well, I'm like an influencer. I do whatever. Like, I need to post every day. There are scheduling apps. You can post and just close the app, and that's it. Like, you don't need to keep going back to it. Rediscover your hobbies and who you are outside of social media, because it's also what you consume. Like, for example, I need to take a social media break because everything was just depressing. Everything was depressing. Like, it was like news and just people sharing about depression, and like that's all you're feeding into. So now, again, speaking to reality, you just think in reality everything is depressing, because you are what you consume. So I think it's also important to take a step back, engage in real life, do things you enjoy and everything, and understand that, like, yes, the world has bad aspects, but it doesn't mean that everything is bad, because your feed is what you want, and like it's your feed specifically, it doesn't mean that it applies to everyone. And I think that people just are like, no, like TikTok said this is how the world is, this is how it is, and that's it. And then they kind of look people differently, or think people are judging them, and so on and so forth. So take a break or limit your screen time. Like, I know your screen time should not be more than like 8 hours, if I'm being real, and even 8 hours is a lot. 8 hours a day.
I was gonna say that's a lot.
It's a lot, but I've heard of people having like 12, 14 hours a day, like at the end of the week. So
oh wow,
make it 5, make it 6, but I think 8, more than 8, reevaluate like what's going on and what you're doing and stuff like that, and why you're consuming so much social media, and why it's taking up 9 hours of your day every single day, or 14 hours of your day every single day. Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. breaks are really, really important, and I find it helpful to take breaks from certain apps, or take breaks from certain like pages, for example. Like, you know, curating your feed to be what it needs to be for you, who you want to see. I remember I created a page that was just for fashion and lifestyle, because I just wanted to see that. Like, I just wanted info, not from people I knew, but just people that like inspired me, that just, I love their innovation and creativity and things like that. So that was helpful for me to like curate a feed that was just everything that I needed to see, and take a break from other things that were just really overwhelming to see a lot of the time. And I find myself always being on that page, because it's just like, it feels like a happy place. Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also like my fashion page. Like, I didn't make one for specifically for lifestyle, but because I have certain fashion like icons that I think are really dope, and I love their style and everything, and it just is encouraging to like, you know, continue dressing and buying and stuff like that. I follow them, so it just happened to turn into like everything I enjoy, and I'm just like, oh, this is great. My main Instagram page, who knows what's going on with her, but like, I barely go on it.
I don't know. Yeah,
I barely go on it.
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe to find like, okay, specifically I go on my main page to find braiding people I've had in the past, or like hairstylists. I can't lie. No, literally, because if you go to your fun page, you can't find anything. You have to go to your main one.
From the local people, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like I remember this person did this, but other than that, I don't go on it like at all. But I guess that's, yes, focus on making your feed something that you enjoy. And if it is just, or like on TikTok, I know it's hard because if you watch it, they're gonna keep pushing it towards you. If you don't like it, don't report it, don't, just keep scrolling, just keep going, and then they're gonna stop like pushing it towards you and everything. So that's a good way to like wean out your feed, or just close your phone, and I promise you TikTok will be upset. It'll reset the whole thing for you. They will not show you the same thing.
So. They'll be like, we lost her. Gotta get her back.
No, legit.
Yeah. And on top of that too, it can be really hard with notifications coming in constantly. So if you need to like silence the notifications so that you go on at your own point in time, because I feel like it can be easy to fall into that trap when you see, oh, you know, you might like this, or so and so posted, and you're like, click, and then you're on there for hours. And I know we talked about taking a break from viewing social media, but I think it's important to understand taking breaks from content creation, because you know, we both create content, and I feel like I tap into that more, of taking breaks when it just feels like not overwhelming, but that the content I'm pushing out is like, when it doesn't become fun anymore, that's when I'm like, I need to take a break, get my creative juices flowing, and then come back so I feel more rejuvenated. So I feel like I do that oftentimes when it feels like, okay, I'm not having fun.
No, I get that.
So I'm gonna take a break, reset, and then come back when it feels fun again.
And I think that people think, oh, if I take social media break, like all my videos are gonna be shadow banned and everything's gonna be bad. When we say take a break, it can be something like you take a batch content, pick a day at a month and just do batch content that'll last you throughout the month. And when I say it doesn't need to be every day, it doesn't need to be every day. And if it has to be every day, that's just another conversation. But all in all, create batch content, right? So you're still posting consistently, but you don't, like after that, you can, like, because you already have enough content for the month, you can just breathe for the month, and then when the next month comes by, you'll have enough strength to like get back into it again. So I suggest that if you still want to be active and everything, because you know, shadow ban, people like not pushing stuff, and if you don't post consistently, all of the above, we all know the algorithm likes to play games if you're not posting every second of your life. But batch content, post everything you need to post, and that will give you time to just breathe and do what you need to do without sacrificing your like following and like your page and stuff like that. So yeah, taking a break from content creation, because I reach points where I'm just like, I don't want to take pictures, I don't want to do anything, I just want to chill. Or
it's real.
just doing something like easy. Pick a trend that like you don't even need to record yourself. Like honestly, there's so many you don't even have to record yourself. It's just like a reaction. Just post it. That's it. Or just not post. Like if it's affecting your mental health to that extent, like just don't post for 2 weeks. Your mental health is more important than you posting every day, like 100%. So yeah.
Well, thank you all for listening. I really enjoyed this episode. I think social media is great in so many ways, and also we just got to be mindful of the way that we interact with it. So yeah.
So like, subscribe, follow, all of the above. If you have questions or comments, send an email to unspokentransitions@gmail.com.
Thanks, y'all.